So what would you say is, what would be a good reason in your mind for someone, or what's the prerequisite you would say for someone to jump into this, or what it would take for you to recommend it? What would you have to see in what would you have to see in someone's life as far as their behavior, their thought patterns, the way they live, in order for you to go, you know what, I think this, what helped me might help you as well, and recommend that? Or is it something you think
that you mean recommend
like the
what?
acid,
Who would you suggest
like the acid
LSD for? Like what
therapy?
For Dr. Grizwold here.
Yeah, right.
What are you looking for when you say, you know what, this might help you?
Well, listen, I've led retreats, right, where I invite people down to Costa Rica, and I give them 7 grams of mushrooms. Okay, that's a hero's journey, right? Is what we call it. All right.
I've heard a hero's dose called 3 to 5 grams. And I just throw that out there so that when people hear 7, they know that this is a superhero's journey.
That's right. Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that. And there's a reason for that, is because I've had people take 3 to 5 grams and they're like, oh, you know, whatever. We ain't trying to do that. We're like, look, if we're going to do this, I want you to be, there ain't no question about it.
Nobody takes 7 and says, yeah, whatever.
That's exactly right. Like you take 3. I've had people take 3 and be like, oh, well, you know, that was really interesting. That's not what we're going for. What we're going for is that experience where you come, hey, face to face with all the things that you've been afraid of, man. All the things that you've been fucking running from, that you've been trying to hide from, that you just can't. And here's what you're going to find out. That nothing I can tell you is going to make you believe it until you experience it yourself. All those things that have been chasing you down, that you've been running from, are sneaking up on you to say, yo, stop running. Yo, we're on your side, motherfucker.
I've got
these people are all super advanced mushroom users, right? Like you wouldn't take some. So you're taking some fucking goober out there in the woods and giving him 7 grams of mushrooms.
Listen, the last retreat we did, we had 7 people. We had 7 people that were there.
Nightmare.
And I took them to this waterfall in Costa Rica, and it has this like river, and very beautiful, right? It's awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. 3 dudes and 4 women, and my man, one of the dudes just kind of loses it, gets completely naked in the river, goes over and starts to try hugging all the fucking women, right? Yeah. Completely losing his shit. So sometimes weird stuff happens.
Ruining everybody's trip. No one's getting enlightened then.
Yeah. And that was the last time we were allowed there.
Actually, you know what I learned is I don't want to do that many mushrooms in the woods with strangers.
You know what I learned? I want to get high with Hugger.
Well, the interesting thing is what came from it was very interesting. There was this very beautiful, like, you know, everybody got all like conscientious and healing and all this. But the whole point is in doing this, these people come face to face with the thing that they haven't been able to get to. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if what I'm talking about sounds ridiculous to you, then turn it off. But there are some people who are like, man, there's something I just can't get to the fucking root of this thing, and I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I want to talk about that. Mm-hmm. So
let's go.
Kyle took LSD and he had a good night. You took LSD and you upgraded your RPG character, right? I don't know if video game analogies make sense to you, but so you're a different guy on the other half of the journey. Is that, you think, because of the dose or because of the set and setting? I think Kyle took LSD with the objective of having a fun night. Exactly. And you took it with the objective of updating your RPG character. So thoughts?
Well, dude, I totally agree with you, except you're being a bit too gracious to me. I didn't do it with the objective of upgrading anything. I did it out of pure desperation. And look, I'm going to tell you, pure desperation is a valuable and powerful thing. Mm-hmm. Because when you ain't got nothing else except, yo, dude, this is all I'm rolling all the dice on this. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, look, sounds like Kyle's a social guy, goes out and hangs out with his friends. This is going to have a great time. But dude, that's exactly what it did. For me, dude, I was like, yo, I'm going to take the Robin Williams way out of the world if I can't figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've come to realize is that life,
you're muted, Kyle.
Life is this thing that has always been in mythological terms been referred to as a woman because she fosters this sense of life and she's good to us. But we gotta You got to realize it. You can't have somebody tell you, because you can argue about it. If I tell somebody life is beautiful, they're gonna be like, oh, well, you don't know my life. It's been all about blah, 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 blah. And they'll tell us all this history of woes, which are all true.
This fish tank probably sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Algae
Throwing the
and
wrong
shit in
fucking
there.
algae. Throwing the wrong
Wrong
algae
algae.
and fucking.
His wife's laser is
He's
far
poor.
underpowered. So I got to ask you, I got questions about, you say you went to, was it Costa Rica you led the retreat to?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you, I would imagine these other 7 people were all also had maybe traumatic events or something like that? Not necessarily.
Actually, not all of them. Surprisingly, most of them were in their 50s and 60s. People who, here's what I found: the majority of people who are interested in psychedelics are either very successful people who are always pushing the limits of experience, whether it's intellectually, physically, socially, some sort of achievement.
Mm-hmm.
And then people who are getting to that point in life where they're wondering if they've lived a significant life. Particularly when people retire. Like 4 out of the 7 people who were at that second retreat were people who had just retired, and they're all very honest. Before I invite somebody down, I'm like, hey man, what's happening? Like, we don't know each other. You're going to a third world country where I'm going to give you drugs that are going to significantly alter your consciousness. What is making you think that this is a good idea? And they're like, hey man, I just don't know what I'm doing in my life. I've came to this point where what have I been doing? And at some point, if we're lucky, and though it's a terrifying fortune, we come to this point where we're like, dude, what the fuck am I doing? And we don't know, if we're honest.
Is LSD easy to get in Costa Rica? Do you live in Costa Rica? I just want to fly Costa Rica. Oh, my mushrooms, of course. Yeah. But same question, just mushrooms.
Well, we grow and ship our mushrooms from the U.S. and trying to get anything in and out of Costa Rica is a huge pain in the ass.
Nobody checks the mail.
Yeah, there aren't even any mailbox. You got to go like down to the post office.
Yeah, you got to go to the PO box. Yeah.
You just go to the PO box.
That's the way to do it. Trust me.
They're delivering it to your house.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't wear shorts.
Gun channel.
Don't wear shorts.
So when your personal self-changing journey, right? The big 6 pyramids of LSD, you didn't talk about what the actual high was like. Right? You just talked about what you were like before and then afterwards. During, were you actively thinking? Were you processing? Did you have like a set of questions to resolve? How did you prep?
Man, how did I prep?
Mm.
Here's how I prepped.
Open my mouth and put in the LSD.
Here's how I prepped. I also ordered some DMT, and so I smoked that first.
Wait.
Okay.
And didn't get it all the way the first time, so I tried a second time. And then I took these 6 things of LSD. And look, dude, I tell you what, man, I was scared to death. Ain't no lie about it. I was scared to death. And it was the most beautiful experience of my life. Look, I'll tell you, the most pleasurable experience you can think of physically is an orgasm. If you can imagine your entire soul having an orgasm that lasts for 6 hours, that's what it was like.
Nice.
Look, I'm a food snob, right? Unapologetically. Okay. And one thing that I fucking think is disgusting is cherry tomatoes that are wrinkled. God, gross, disgusting. Well, I'm making a salad while I'm rolling on LSD, and this little wrinkly tomato, I swear to God, I look at it and I'm like, this is so beautiful. It was like this beautiful fucking wrinkly ass tomato. And dude, like, it wasn't like whitewashing. You know how people who are so obnoxious, who always want to see the positive and everything, and you just want to smack them. They're always whitewashing things, and they say things that you just don't believe, right? They're trying. It's just not real. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. It wasn't like, oh, let me see this ugly cherry tomato as being beautiful. It wasn't like that at all. It was something altogether different, where all you can see is the beauty in even something that is ugly.
Mhm.
I understand that part. That part I got. There was a clown painting that was beautiful on the wall. They had like a comically goofy clown painting in their like billiard room, and I was just staring at its face, watching it change colors from orange to yellow and then back again. And then I would like look away and then look back real quick to see what parts of what I just saw were real, because
But
I don't know
the
how it
next
works.
morning, you didn't
Because
enjoy
when you're
it.
staring at it, your brain is changing it to all different colors. But when you look away, it's like a video game or something. All that resets. So you look back, motherfucker, that's not a clown, it's George Bush. What am I looking? You've been there for 3 hours or something. I love
Movie's over.
LSD, and I took 5. I don't know. It's not like prescription drugs. That shit ain't dosed right. Who knows what? 5 of mine could have been 1 of yours. But I had a ball. If that were legal, I would do that once every month for sure. No more than that. Literally no more than that. I don't think it would be healthy to go to that place more than once a month. That's a scary place.
You don't want to just like get
That could be a scary
Wonderland.
place.
What about your thoughts on frequency, Michael? Is once a month too much? Enough? About right?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the single most valuable gift that psychedelics have given me is the gift of sovereignty.
Okay. Expand on that.
So once a month or
The ability to choose how many times a month.
It's like
Sovereign.